What was last night, Nishant? For the people that are watching that don't know what last night was,
It was John Cena's last match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
The last time was then. Yeah, the main event you had that boy Gunther versus John Cena. How did you feel, Rana, as a new fan?
obviously John Cena is a legend. John Cena is synonymous, and I said this on episode like what Michael Jordan is to basketball, what Tom Brady is to football, Messi is football, right? That is John Cena to wrestling.
I understand what it should be. I understand what it can be. I know how match structure works. I know how ring psychology works. I sat there and had to learn that for multiple years. So this is me coming in from a perspective, not just as a fan, but as someone who was in training, getting as much of this poured down my throat by the gallon, and now taking that, seeing what's happening, looking at the talent that's there, and the math isn't adding all the way up.
This was one of Nishant's personal requests, and we made it happen. We made it happen live from my house. Oh man, Mr. Josh Cage,
What's
the
going
HCW
on, man?
captain, dog. Go ahead, talk about it, man.
The HCW captain. You giving me that tagline. I never requested a nickname. He said we made this happen like I didn't drive 4 minutes from up the street and come sit in the basement in his own house on his own MacBook because my laptop was acting up.
Oh man, yes. So has 3 children, 3 under 3.
3 under
So
3.
so
Three
he,
topics.
just given the circumstance of having kids and him being at the house, there might have been a situation to where he might have had to,
Too
tend
many
to,
cameos.
too many cameos, so that's why he's doing it from here, which is absolutely no issue at all because he was just here last night,
Less than 12 hours ago.
less than 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
He was just here because last night we witnessed history, and we had Nishant live on the video call as well to join us. And who else? We had like 8 other people here, I think.
We had IP Mason up in the house.
Yeah, Sean J,
Sean J.
Destin
We had Destin Ortega.
Ortega, Sagar
Swan. Sagar Swan. What's the other guy's name that was here?
Hardik.
No, I'm not Hardik. Well, Hardik Patel, and then there was another name as well.
Jorge, bro.
Jorge, that's right.
Yeah, those 8, and then you 8, me 9, and then Nishant 10. So we had 9 people in the physical. We had Nishant on the digital. And
So how many ethnicities?
I think we had 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 5, unless you're counting because Ben is half.
Well, that's 6 because I'm South Indian, so.
That's funny. Yeah, man. But last night, I want y'all both to speak to. I don't think it's. I want y'all both to speak to the gravity of last night. Go ahead, Nishant, Josh. I want y'all to speak.
Nishant, what you got to say, Nishant? Tell me how you feel.
What was last night, Nishant? For the people that are watching that don't know what last night was,
It was John Cena's last match. Right, and with Gunther, and
it was a Saturday night main event.
Yeah, it was.
The last time was then.
Oh yes.
We have laid to rest the illustrious career of our beloved Jonathan Felix Anthony Cena.
What people used to call pay-per-views is now a PLE, a premium live event. So we had a PLE last night for Saturday night's main event. Hashtag
Don't get it twisted. Hold on. That was a network special. His last PLE was Survivor Series.
Oh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This was this network special that wasn't even on network television, so make it make sense.
Yeah, it did not like I was looking at it on Netflix. Like I saw then my
Yeah,
friend told no, it's on Sony Live in India. It's like
yeah,
okay, that's weird. Okay.
yeah. It was in NBC Universal in the states
Mm-hmm.
would be like your local NBC affiliate.
Mm-hmm.
It was not on NBC. I don't think any of the Saturday night's main events are going to be moving forward, but they are on Peacock. So I'm like, do you call it a streaming special now? Like, what do you call it? Because you already got a premium live event. You don't
Mm.
have network specials anymore. What do you call this? What is this?
Like, were there any other matches yesterday, or just Cena's match?
There were three other matches. You
Okay, I did
missed
not
them.
watch that.
They were fun, man. They were. That
I
was
woke up late.
uh,
you know, I
yeah.
woke up late to the text of my friend. I'm like, "Hey, are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah."
had you had Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi.
Okay.
You
That
had
that was kind of whack, but yeah,
you had Soul Ruka versus Bailey, and
that was
Mhm.
she snatched Rana's soul.
I like that one a lot. That was okay. Then what else?
You had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and oh my god, why did I just forget his name?
Leon,
Leon
Leon.
Slater. Leon Slater.
Yeah,
That
I
was
like
that
that
was
one.
awesome.
That was cool. That was cool. I like that one too.
And then
Yeah.
you had the main event. Yeah, the main event you had that boy Gunther versus John Cena. How did you feel, Rana, as a new fan coming into
Mm.
that? How did you feel? Like, did it feel different to you than like other matches that you've watched, like the circumstance and the pump? Like, could you feel like an energy shift when
Yeah,
Gunther made his entrance?
certainly, certainly. Oh, we forgot Miz and Joe Hendry
And
and
our
R-Truth. Yeah,
yeah, it was
uh,
like a to unofficial
yeah.
special guest referee
That was
situation.
fun. I like that. That was my second time seeing Joe Hendry. First time was with Randy Orton. Oh wait, hold on. What is that? I'm matching the same. I got the same logo on my shirt that Josh has on his hoodie. What is going on?
Come on, Nishant, where you at, man?
What's happening? What is this?
They did not send it to me, guys.
I
Not
think
yet.
I think we're gonna have to talk about this really, really soon. But hold on, let's go ahead and talk about. Let's wrap up talking about last night. So check this out. So how did I feel about it? I'll tell you how I felt about it. I just got here,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got here, and obviously John Cena is a legend. John Cena's synonymous, and I said this on episode 2 of Hot Corner Wrestling. We're gonna get to that. Sorry, HCW Heat. HCW Heat. I said this on episode 2 of HCW Heat, but we're gonna get there. Let me tell you, this is how I felt about it, right? John Cena's synonymous, like I said, synonymous. Like what Michael Jordan is to basketball, what Tom Brady is to football,
Mhm.
what Messi is to soccer or
Okay.
football, right? That is John Cena to wrestling,
Talk
right?
to
Everybody grew up watching John Cena, whether were invested in WWE or not. You knew who John Cena was. You knew who he was. You knew the jokes. You knew the memes. You all that. And so last night, I mean, they, they delayed his entrance. Like they panned the entire arena and they're delaying the entrance. And my heart was shaking. And like when that music rang, you know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
like it just
and what was sweet about that delayed entrance and those "Let's Go Cena" chants started.
Yeah.
But what you weren't around for is the time where people hated John Cena. So
Cena sucks.
you would have the kids and the younger people saying "Let's Go Cena," and they would be overwhelmingly just like a young collective child voice. "Let's go Cena," and then all the grown folks, "Cena sucks." But last night it was only "Let's go
Let's go
Cena,"
Cena.
and there was that pause where the "Cena sucks" would fit in. You didn't hear it.
Yep.
You didn't hear that at all. And I wondered, like, for him in that moment, because you know, he obviously is a professional. He does his job. And I think he was the type that appreciated the Cena sucks portion of it, you know, like embraced that. But like in that moment, you're going out for your last match, and a lot of times in life as humans, like we run 100 miles an hour, and we don't always stop to take the time in a moment like that and realize what's happening, because there's so much going on and you're just working, working, working. You're pushing through, you're pushing through, you're pushing through. If you're standing behind the curtain and you're him after 23 years and after a very long time of hearing the Cena sucks portion of that, and they're milking it, and all you hear is "Let's go Cena," probably the loudest you've ever heard it in your entire career. You know, in that moment, like I couldn't imagine that it wouldn't send like a warm rush down his spine. You know what I mean? Just like oh my god, like this really is it. You know,
He came out, and I love the graphics on the in the alley, like of just all the different outfits that he had on over the years, and when he grabbed the camera and turned it around, and like just I like
Stu.
yeah, that's right. And I just leading up to this match, you had all the recorded messages, right? I mentioned Tom Brady earlier. Tom Brady was one of those messages. You had a plethora of people around the world just giving messages. Snoop Dogg, Gabriel Iglesias, Vanessa Hudgens, Jimmy Fallon,
your Fanatics affiliates.
Yeah, Lil Yachty. So
paid
I'm
promotion type of energy there.
You said what?
It said paid promotion type of energy.
Oh yeah. No, but and they had, I mean, all the video packages were real special. I mean, you had this was the first time that I'm seeing that I watched a WWE show where they kind of like they like kind of like cut the like the illusion, like the immersion of like this what we're doing here. They kind of like peeled it back and like really was like the Miz, he's trying to like talk, smack and whatever, but then like here plays this video package where he's giving praise and he's so like everyone kind of just like dropped the act for that's the first time I've seen that happen, where they're like, yeah, we just this is John Cena's last match, so we're gonna.
I read Mark Henry. I read a transcript this morning where Mark Henry was kind of talking about what it was like back there, and he's like, I'm going through, and there's just a lot of people, like 40 people, and he said, people are hugging him, consoling him, and crying. He said, he said I haven't seen it like that since somebody had passed away. People were but in the back. I mean, it's hard to describe. You're talking about, you got multiple generations of people back there, people that came before him, that basically watched him grow up. I mean, when he's 48 now, 48 minus 23 is 25. So he was just a little bit under our age and it for us, like we feel like babies.
Over Nishant's age.
Oh,
no, Nishant's age now? No, a little bit over.
I'm 23. Yeah.
So you're looking at somebody you literally saw come in like as many would deem to be just a kid, and you watch that transition all the way through, like he's near 50 years old now. In reality, imagine the older generation that was already there, Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, and then you think about the guys that came in with him, or even around that same time, and like I know certain guys, those guys weren't there, but like Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin, Brock, they came up together, and then you think about guys that came up after. I mean, you had two guys on the show tonight that were born after John Cena had made his way to the main roster. Yeah, Javon Evans and Leon Slater both born in the year 2004.
Wow.
So not only for their entire lives and the entire time that they probably watched wrestling and grew up watching wrestling, they grew up watching him. That's the guy. And then they ended up wrestling together on that guy's retirement show. And they're at the influence of professional wrestling. There's no way that John Cena didn't influence their drive to get where they were at that point. You know, I find it like very, very reflective when you think about the people that are on the card, right? Just having the opportunity to be on the same show that John Cena retires on. You know, you're picked for that moment. So I think about that generation, that real young generation, the generation that came up with him, the generation that came before, and just the kids that, you know, are in the crowd now. Because, you know, it's always hard to tell, but you never know, right? You literally could have a future WWE champion, could have been like 11 years old right now, in the crowd with mom and dad, brother, sister. You know, that happens a lot. And that night, last night, you know, seeing John Cena honored in that way could drive a child to decide, hey, I want to do what John Cena did. You know, I look at it. I try to think about things from all those perspectives, you know, and it's really sweet, you know, when you sit back and peel back all the layers of just like the entertainer side, but the impact, you know, the impact is just such, it's such a fascinating thing for me. Impact and butterfly effects.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah.
Watching the show last night, I was more so gauging everybody else's reactions. So I'm looking at Josh's face. I'm looking at Nishant's face.
Yeah.
Nishant's feed was actually, I think, 10 seconds ahead of ours. So
Yeah.
so I actually saw his face look devastated.
My actual reaction, like, what?
And
You're like,
but I had the volume down all the way because
Yeah.
I didn't want to ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah.
So I could hear him say something, and I look at his face, and I'm like, and then I see his face, and then I'm like glued to the screen. I'm like, okay, what's gonna happen? And I thought, okay, he lost, or you know, like, but I didn't think he gonna lose like that. And I don't
no, we knew he was gonna lose. Like me and Josh, we talked yesterday night on the call, right?
You
And
knew it was
we
gonna-
both said, yeah, we knew like John Cena's gonna make Gunther win. That's who he is, and he's gonna lose it. But we did not know that he's gonna tap out. It's been 20 years, dude.
yeah.
You know,
Dang, 23 years from a chain gang soldier to a never give up, and
Yep.
he smiled and tapped out.
smiled and tapped out.
And you know, like after sleeping on it, you know, hindsight 2020,
Mhm.
like I understand, you know.
You understand him tapping out.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's hear this. Because let me tell you something. Like
it
I
was the
said,
only thing. Look, it was the only thing left that he had not done.
Yeah.
but he's tapped out before.
No.
He has, right, Nishant?
He has.
He tapped out. He tapped out against Chris Benoit.
In the last 20 years, he hasn't tapped out once. Like
or 20
once
years.
he got that never give up.
Yeah.
Like thing gone
He became
going
a
on, and
superhero.
the hustle, loyalty, respect. He never tapped out.
So he tapped out with Chris Benoit. He tapped out with Kane. He tapped out with.
But the first one don't count. That's not recorded any longer.
I think he tapped out for 2 or 3 times max, right? But before that, like in the early stages of his career, right? But for the
I have
last 20
never
years, he never
seen
did.
John Cena tap out.
Oh wow!
It's just such a foreign thing to me that happened. You know, that's why it was so shocking, and that's why I did not care for it at first. Now it is what it is. I'm fine, I guess.
So he tapped out 5 times. He tapped out with Chris Jericho on SmackDown. October 2003, he tapped out with Kurt Angle on No Mercy. December 2003, he tapped out with Chris Benoit on SmackDown. February 2004, he tapped out with Kurt Angle again on No Way Out. And then December 13th, 2025, he tapped out.
How many? That is 21.
1 year. Yeah.
He probably didn't even remember the last time he
Yeah.
tapped.
No, like, I get it from the WWE's point of view and from the scripting point of view that we need to get the reaction right. And tapping out, everyone got they got the reaction they wanted. But
I want to ask both of y'all, like, how did y'all feel about how he tapped out?
Okay, well, watching in live time, I did not notice the smile.
me too.
I just noticed the very just the gentle,
That's it.
like, all right, that's enough.
Yeah, Ben.
That was the I'm okay now.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow. Yeah.
Ben, we had Ben in the building, IP Mason, who's actually a local wrestler here, Nishant, and he mentioned it. I was watching the recording again. We actually recorded this whole thing. We got 3 hours and 12 minutes of footage.
Okay.
And I see Ben mention right before, he's like, "Oh, look at him smiling." And he's like laughing. He's like, "Look at him smiling," and then his face completely changes. Post, like, it was weird.
What was his expression? Was he the tapped out?
Like, it really looked like, I think when you're on a boat and then you see, like, oh wait, like, oh, that's a nice formation of rocks, or like water, like that. Look at that, and then like all of a sudden you see.
That's a great way to.
You were very still. You were extremely still. I think you were just like. There was a pin drop silence in the room that was tangible, and even again, I'm new here, but I knew the gravity of what had happened, and I couldn't believe it.
I was shocked, man. I just remember being in shock that he tapped out. I think I even said, on HCW Heat, I'm like, like, if he taps out, like, there was no way for me to describe what I was even considering in that moment, because that just was such a foreign concept to me. I fully expected him to just go to sleep, He came back with this.
Yeah.
Oh, that was I was the best chair. Yes.
You knew Gunther was gonna beat him down for a few minutes and just hold it, and that would be it. But the tap out part, that was like getting punched in the mouth and losing your two front teeth, man. That's how it felt.
Well, when he did this, I ain't gonna fake it. That was hype.
I think we all popped for that, didn't we?
Yes, we all did. Yeah.
We were pretty live for that moment. I felt that. That was tough, honestly.
I remember Destin saying, like, "Oh, he's gonna turn into Super Cena now." The opposite of that happened.
2006 woke up for a second right there.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, here we go." I was like, "Man, this man about to hit an Enziguri, man hit a Canadian Destroyer, a Hurricane Rana, something, but he tapped out."
How do we feel about the match overall? Because I know
that's all right.
People, I didn't like it that much. Again, I'm new here, but I really did feel like there was a repetition. It didn't seem as dynamic as I wanted it to be, but I loved how Cena was pulling out moves that he hadn't pulled out in years, right?
The top rope leg drop.
Yeah, that was fire.
Yeah.
I didn't mind him doing the 5-knuckle shuffle over and over again. That was
3
fun.
times.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the match. It was a slightly above average wrestling match. I enjoyed it. The only thing about it is I feel, and Gunther works a certain style. He works a very old school style, and he works a slow pace. And I think people miss the amount of character work that Gunther actually projects during a match, you know, visually and obviously reacting to the crowd and engaging with that and reacting based off of how the crowd is um, reacting to him and what he's doing and really milking that and working that. Um, it's a slow pace, and I think our attention spans in 2025 are trained more to not like that. We just want stuff that's just going to be bang, 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 bang. Um, but with that being said, I think there's a way you can balance that style and still pump out, really, really, really good matches and really good classics. Um, I think that since about WrestleMania 39, with that triple threat that Gunther had with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre,
Mm-hmm.
how good that match was. Um, big meaty men slapping meat and all. Um, I feel like Gunther has left me personally wanting more from him. Um, as in the ring. I don't mind his character at all. Um, I like I like how he is. I like how he presents. I just feel that the matches could offer a little bit more, and I think for me it's also a bit of a thing because I used to see Gunther in person back when he was Walter. And I would, during WrestleMania weekend, I would go to indie shows as well. So he would be on like the Evolve shows and things like that as Walter. And those matches that he was having there are just unbelievable, just certified classics. And I think I'm always wanting that. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about the match. I think I'm always wanting what I know he can provide, but he does not provide. That makes sense. And I don't think he's being lazy. I just think it's the style that he works. I think that's just what it is. That's what he feels or they feel benefit the character. And that's what WWE is. They have a lot of extremely talented people, but for some reason they just refuse to. And I'm not gonna say to refuse. I don't know what's going on. Like I don't know what their discussions are about match. Obviously, they care a lot about virality and big moments,
Mm-hmm.
leading to a lot of social media engagement, which leads to more money. But I'm like give us some work rate. Like it's okay to have a nice 15, 20, 30 minute 5-star classic
Yeah.
once a show. Like it's okay to give us work rate. It's okay to give us an entertaining wrestling match. It's okay to give us something that's good. You got Leon Slater and you got Javon Evans in there with AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, and the match underwhelms. Why? Why does it underwhelm? This is a situation where I'm like, okay, we need to reanalyze our ring psychology and why we're structuring our matches this way and why we're doing things this way. Like you think about like Michael Hayes, he does the finishes over there. I think the finishes are great. It like Michael Hayes ain't the problem. The finishes of the matches aren't the problem. I feel like they do a really good job with that over there. But I think the time from when the bell rings to when we get to that final spot, where the match is supposed to be ending, leaves me wanting more. And I don't want to go and have to feel like I gotta go watch any other wrestling because I feel like they do it better. And I'm not gonna sit here and mention other promotions that do work rate better, but there are
Why don't you want to mention it?
because it's just I just feel like it's not necessarily like that's not the topic.
No, you can mention it. Why not?
But I feel like you go and watch you watch AEW,
There you go.
work rate. You're gonna get a good match. You're gonna get something entertaining. It's a different style. I'm not saying WWE has to copy that style, but I'm saying they do need to analyze the drawing board, because you can't have people like Sol Ruka in there. You got people like Dragon Lee, AJ Styles. You got Gunther.
I love Sol Ruka's performance though, man.
I mean, but she's great. But what I'm saying is, like, there's still something missing there.
What was missing in that match? What do you think? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I really think when it comes to technical work yesterday, like the technical work, and I know I'm new here.
Technical work though, great technical work.
When Josh hears me say that, he gets a crack out of it. But now, like like I said, I'm new here, but Sol Ruka's performance, I'm sorry, I really think she was pulling off things that
she was great. I'm not disagreeing with that. I think she was awesome last night.
I'm gonna say this. She had my favorite performance last night out of all the wrestlers.
But Sol Ruka versus Bayley. Listen, knowing the history of Bayley and what she's capable of, Sol Ruka versus Bayley. Like, if we're going Meltzer stars, it should be at least a 4.5. And that match should have been a generational classic last night.
Yeah, oh yeah, Bayley didn't really. I know, yeah. Bayley,
20 minutes. Let them do what they want to do. Let them wow. I feel like WWE, like, I don't know what their match theory is, but I feel like, personally, I just feel like it lacks a little bit. I feel like whatever their match theory is right now is holding talent back from excelling at their craft in the ring, because we're focused on moments, virality.
I hear you.
Still focus on those things and do well. I'm just that's just how I feel. I'm not trying to tell them how to do their job, but I'm telling them they need to do a better job.
True.
For the amount of money that we have to put in to be a fan, I think it's okay for me to not just watch the show and enjoy it, Hunter. I think it's okay for me to have some critiques and have some opinions about how it's done, I mean, like, I'm not trying to be that guy, but like, I had a cup of tea at Harley Race's Academy, the guy you idolize. I had a jug of milk with a guy who was currently working in Japan. After that, I'm not going to name names.
I think we need to get into that.
I understand what it should be. I understand what it can be. I know how match structure works. I know how ring psychology works. I sat there and had to learn that for multiple years. So this is me coming in from his perspective, not just as a fan, but as someone who was in training, getting as much of this poured down my throat by the gallon, and now taking that, seeing what's happening, looking at the talent that's there, and the math isn't adding all the way up. Yeah, that's where I come from with that. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but it's a passionate topic for me.
Josh, I feel like we kind of have to go down that rabbit hole, man. I'm sorry, we kind of have to, but this is all I'm going to say to wrap up discussion for the matches last night. When I sit here, and again, like I said, and I say this over and over again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I'm new here, and the three best performances that I felt were on display last night was Sol Ruka,
number one,
Young OG,
number two for sure,
John Cena,
in that order. It's hard when you see when Sol Ruka hits the screen, put her on cereal boxes, make dolls. She is so cool.
She's in NXT right now, right?
She is.
Okay, so I might.
Remarkable.
Okay, maybe I start watching NXT. Who knows? You know what I mean? But so all in all, we had, I really want to. There's so much to get into, but I just want to say, and I want y'all to speak on this again, a little more, so we could like kind of round this out. Cena taps out. Oh, you know what? One of my favorite moments from that match was when Gunther was outside of the ring, and he like looks at the crowd and he goes like that, and then he's like that was funny. I love that. That was hilarious. Like it was just funny. But and yeah, big St. Louis. We had Metro Boomin in the house. I love that. I love
That's
that.
Atlanta now.
Well, he's always been big Atlanta too. He spent a lot of that's where part of the reason why he got the name Metro Boomin is because he always used to ride the metro down towards he always made trips to Atlanta. That's why
I wanted to ask one more thing. Like, what do you think as Gunther as an opponent for John Cena's last match?
What do I think of Gunther as an opponent for John Cena's last match?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people probably just sick of Gunther. I think I would have picked Gunther if I was booking the show.
Okay.
It would have been hard for me not to. He's a great worker, but it's also a situation where you're like I heard it. Steven Larson said this, right? Or it was either Steven Larson or it was Stash Club, but they were like, people keep saying, "Oh, Gunther doesn't need this rub. Gunther doesn't need this rub," and they were like, "Stop when you tell me a guy that needs this over Gunther." They were like CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Edge, Chris Jericho, Gunther. You stop at Gunther because that's the one that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the one who actually benefits from retiring John. Those other guys don't. And of course there are other names. Braun Breaker, could have benefited from that moment. But I'm not sure because Braun Breaker is destined to be a good guy. You look at a guy, a badass dog, when he walks in the arena, everybody's barking. That's a baby face. Gunther walks into the ring, people want him to turn around and walk the other way. That's your guy that benefits from that. He already retired Goldberg, let him retire Cena. Next year, is he going to retire Brock? I would imagine that he would be the one to put Brock down. I would imagine that he might even be the one to put AJ Styles down. It just
he better not put the other big St. Louis down, man. Randy Orton, who I really thought would have been nice for the final match. I asked a lot of people in the room last night. No, I asked everybody in the room last night, Nishant, before you hopped on the video call. I said, who do y'all think should have been Cena's final match? And we had Randy Orton rounding out the most votes amongst the people in the room. And I know Josh was one of the biggest advocates for Gunther being his final match still. And he mentioned that back on episode 2 of HCW Heat when I asked him the same question, right? But, and even me, again, being new here, when I saw the tournament, when I saw the card for like how it's going to end up.
You knew how it was going in.
Yeah, I knew that, when I all the way back to, I think when it was Gunther versus Solo Sikoa.
Yeah,
I knew that Gunther was going to win all the way through.
But and here's a point about that tournament, right? A lot of people were very not into it. They didn't like the fact that it's just so predictable. But in sports and just in life in general, predictability doesn't equal bad. And my point here, right? If you apply this to professional sports. The Kansas City Chiefs have played in the last 3 Super Bowls, and people are like, "Oh, I'm so sick of the Chiefs winning." Well, Super Bowl 54, when they showed up for the first time in 50 years, you wanted them to win, and now you're fickle. The people are just fickle. They get tired. They get tired of something that happens for more than 2 months in a row. People are fickle. I'm not gonna say they get bored, but at the same time, oh my God, I'm so sick of the Chiefs winning. I'm so sick of the Dodgers winning. I was back in the day. I was so sick of the Yankees winning. I hate the Yankees because they're good. Like, think about it like this: you need a villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the same breath, you're saying, "Oh, I'm so sick of this," and wrestling fans like to use the, "Oh, I'm done watching WWE." Yeah, we'll see you on Monday night. Like, people that are so sick of a Gunther winning, right? The same way they're so sick of seeing Kansas City, so sick of seeing the Dodgers, so sick of seeing the Florida Panthers in hockey. You know, guess who's providing the money for these companies to flourish because you are hate watching these teams or these people. You're so sick, but you still tune in because you want to see them lose, which means that Gunther is a perfect heel.
Yes.
The same way the Dodgers are a perfect heel, the same way that the Kansas City Chiefs are a perfect heel. You want to see them get taken down so bad. In the same breath that you're so sick, you cannot change this television screen. There's something in you that stays glued. There's something in you that's still attracted to watching Patrick Mahomes and trying to see him fail. It's fickle. It's your fickleness. It's evil, honestly. But you know,
I remember Hardik mentioning last night, I'm boycotting the WWE. I don't like this anymore. I'm really upset with how tonight went. And Josh said, I'll see you at the Royal Rumble.
yep. And I see you at the Royal Rumble watch party, buddy. You're gonna be right there, sitting in your John Cena shirt, looking goofy after that statement you made. Always, wrestling fans always saying some stupid stuff, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna watch no more. How many years you been watching? 20? You gonna watch? We'll see. Oh, WrestleMania, Saudi Arabia. Oh my God, I can't believe this. The streak's broken. I'm not going to WrestleMania that year. I'm never going. Yeah, well, front row at Royal Rumble was $400. I bet you're gonna be in line for them tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, front row of Royal Rumble's only $400?
Only $400?
The
Oh, yeah.
VVIP, the very VIP, was $400. I believe that was ringside.
That's not that's I expected it to be a lot more. I
Yeah.
expect it to
Me
be a
too.
lot more.
I mean, Saudi Arabia already paid out the booty hole. The WWE ain't got to charge nothing, and Ticketmaster's not involved with their illegal price inflation schemes.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can go.
Nishant, I want to ask you, who did you want Cena's final match to be?
He gonna say something nostalgic. He can be like something from back in the day.
I think this whole year was nostalgic, right?
Yeah, it was.
So I'll be honest, I had no one in my mind because I was like, who's left?
I mean, it's crazy to think that it was this calendar year that Cena turned heel back in, was that February?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
March. It was March.
Okay. Cena turned heel.
Yeah.
Who your top 3 favorite heels are of all time?
Okay. My top 3 favorite heels of all time, as it currently stands. I love Dominic Mysterio.
Yes.
I love Dominic Mysterio. This is a subjective favorite list. I love Dominic Mysterio, what he was doing. Another top 3 favorite heel of all time. Jesus, this is interesting for me. Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon for sure. And that's just, you don't even have to say anything. You're gonna be entertained. Even as cringy as that 90s grunge atmosphere was, and their very Jerry Springer-esque entertainment, which has not aged well at all. There's still some enjoyment to be had. And then another favorite heel. It's just like so many like people to think about this situation.
Beckett and Charlotte Flair.
Roddy Piper. I mean,
Okay.
I love that they included Vince McMahon in the video package last night. Did not expect that. And as Josh pointed out last night, John Cena smiled during that portion of the video package.
yeah. Yeah, he saw Vince and he did smile again. He smiled several times, but he did smile specifically when he saw Vince on there.
And some people think that, when all the You had the cast and crew, the roster, and the crew, and just various WWE personnel come out and surround the ring to give their farewell to John Cena, and John Cena, puts his orthopedics and his wristbands and all that in the ring, and he leaves. Such a huge gravity moment for everybody, even people watching.
The entirety of backstage was cleared out.
Oh yeah, but there's a theory that there was one person waiting for him back there for John Cena to meet and embrace and maybe say his final words to as a performer that night. That was Vince McMahon behind the who knows, right? That's what I know Destin mentioned.
Yeah.
I think that's what Josh believes also.
It's in my head, it is. I want that to be true. Like I want that to be true. I want that to be that there was they've been filming a documentary for Cena's retirement. I'm sure they have, because they film a documentary for everything.
They have to.
And I want it so bad to be true that there was a camera crew that was still in the back filming the documentary, and when Cena got through the curtain, Vince was there. Because I mean, it's pretty obvious how much John Cena loves Vince McMahon.
Oh yeah,
take away the scandal, take away the things that Vince did. We all knew he was crusty. Get over it. We knew he was crusty. And but I would like to believe that they had that moment, because they both deserve that moment. And so I'm saying, you take away all that extra stuff, you can't tell me Vince didn't deserve to be there and have a moment with Cena. And Cena, as much as he loved Vince, didn't deserve to have that moment, because Vince was there at the beginning, and he's still alive.
Yeah.
So he should.
I watched the entirety of the Joe Rogan Experience, where he had John Cena on for I think like 2 hours and 11 minutes of just wonderful race that you see through an interview. And it's just, Tony Hinchcliffe there as well, who's a huge wrestling fan, WWE fan, of course. And John Cena made sure to mention Vince McMahon multiple times in that during that interview, or during the that episode of the podcast. So I think it's only right, but
he had a lot of impact on John Cena.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's had a lot of impact on the entire business, right? Wrestling wouldn't be what it is today without Vince McMahon.
Yeah. What do you think the final would have been if Vince was in?
It would have been the same final.
Same final, okay.
I think so.
I'd like to believe that there's a world where Vince does still influence decisions.
I mean, his daughter and son-in-law are right at the top of the company. I can't imagine that they at least don't share some text messages about, hey, what do you think about this? I mean, there are people there that were close to him. You can't imagine in creative, you've been working with someone for so long, now they're gone. You just fully not asking any question.
Right.
Yeah.
To your old boss that you worked with for 20 years. That would be weird to me.
No, I hear you. It makes
advice. People are delusional. Like Vince McMahon is the reason that it's where it is today. Obviously, he lost his touch, and he was making the show for himself, and he couldn't gauge what fans really wanted or loved. But I mean, the way that we know and love professional wrestling developed off of his back and his brain, and him being like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. This is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to present that. And I understand, it was very, very tough for a lot of people because of how he was, just stubborn and old. And you wake up one day and he decided he wanted to change the rules or something. That was it. He lived in his own world.
And he walks up to you with his hot breath and says, "You're fired."
But at the end of the day, I mean, if I'm there and I had his phone number, that's a brain I'm picking, dude. All the other, I'm at least ask. Bro's alive. I have questions. What do you think of this? What do you think of that?
Yeah, John Cena implored and highly suggested.
Joe Rogan to
Yeah.
invite him on the pod. I've seen that, yeah.
He highly suggested what?
To invite Vince to the podcast.
To the Joe Rogan experience. Like when John Cena's sitting in front of Joe Rogan, he told Joe Rogan, he's like, man, you asking me a lot of these questions that I think if you wanted to really understand these things, these questions that you're asking me, and you really want these answers, there's one person that you should sit in front of and you should have on this platform, and that's Vince McMahon. He made sure to mention that, and I think that's I think just naturally humans, we time heals everything. Some things take longer to heal than others. So I really think that we will see Vince McMahon.
We did.
I mean, yeah, we did last night. But what I mean to say is I really do think that we'll see him in the flesh in the arena on a televised program.
I mean, we saw Hogan again.
Yeah, we saw Brock Lesnar again.
I believe if that music would have hit and he walked out last night, that arena would have exploded.
No chance. Yeah.
Everybody in the arena would have forgot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just being real. Human.
Yep.
Was there a part of you that believed that was going to happen?
I wanted it to happen. Let me get something clear. I don't condone what he did or how he acted. I don't. I'm very much, from a moral standpoint. I have daughters. That kind of behavior is sickening to me. Trafficking women or anybody is detestable.
Right.
But even the thought that that's like something that my brain can't even comprehend. So like let's get that out of the way while I'm just sitting here talking about, oh, I would love to see this, I would love to see that. Don't get it twisted. I'm not discounting the bad side at all. But I also am not one to discredit and forget the good side as well.
Right. I hear you.
We're all equal. We all have bad things about us. We all have secrets that if they got out, we would be ashamed. That's just the fact of life and humanity. That's why we all persecute each other so hard when someone falls. So, yeah.
Wow. Clip that. Maybe. But loved hearing the crowd get real riled up when Triple H came out.
Right? Wow. He was good.
I mean, he had that coming though, because the show is not good. The show's not, and he's like relishing in the moment with his stupid crooked glasses that he has in his pocket, and just like relishing in the moment, like just like they hate me, I love it, and it's like, bro, no, you're putting on a bad show. For since WrestleMania 41, the show has been cheeks consistently. You have underdelivered and overcharged, and like how what is the word I'm looking for? How dense and how much of a lack of awareness. You live in this world with you and your buddies and your yes man. You write this show, and you sit there. You tell people, "We just enjoy the show. Just watch the show." You don't want people to criticize when you are stumbling, but you want everybody to praise you. You want to be the face of a company without criticism. You want to be the face of a company without people questioning why you did this, why you did that. You know how your industry works. This isn't Hollywood. Professional wrestling's different. Fans peel back the curtain all the time. They dig. They nitpick. They're fickle. They want to know why you made that decision. They have an opinion on what's a better decision. It's not like we're watching Tony Stark die. We all have to accept it. That's cultural. We know when we watch a movie that the movie is what it is. Wrestling fans know they have influence in real time over what happens in the future. That's the beauty of what professional wrestling is in comparison to any other form of entertainment. So for you to sit there with the stupid crooked glasses in your pocket while you ready to tell everybody about how much business you've done and how great it is, That's great. You're doing record numbers, but the product ain't that great. It's terribly mid. The wrestlers are underperforming because of the handcuffs that you're giving them. Because we're focused on moments and virality. We haven't told a good long-term story since the bloodline technically ended.
Yep.
When we could be, the talent's there. You have the people, you have the history, but you want people to just shut up and watch the show. And then when you decide, oh, we want to be cool, we want to let content creators and different things into these pressers. And then when somebody decides they want to ask about a Waffle House order to The Rock, then y'all decide all of a sudden you don't want to do that no more.
Wait, did they get upset when someone tried to ask?
I think they just there was a couple of things. One, they probably felt like, oh, these people aren't real reporters anyway. This is goofy. Why are we doing this? We need to seem legit, which is stupid because it's professional wrestling. Nothing's legit. Two, they brought Brock Lesnar back, and that same show they brought Brock Lesnar back. That's when they got rid of the post-show pressers, so they didn't have to answer those questions. And because Triple H can't navigate those tough questions like that. He would need a lot more training in that field. Something John Cena could navigate it, but Triple H could not. But you know, like I said, that's the thing that I get down on the rabbit hole is like, no, the fans have a voice. They have a right to feel how they feel. And every time the fans feel an opposite way of a decision that you made and how you feel, you don't sit there and belittle them like last night on the presser. And I remember I was like, oh, he's basically calling everybody that isn't writing the show stupid. And there's something so disingenuous about that. But I mean, this is also a guy that, you know, he cheated on his partner with the woman he is currently married to.
Wow. And
this is a guy that had a reign of terror. This is a guy that influenced the Montreal Screwjob. You know, I'm sorry, like there's a pattern there. There's some toxicity in there. This is the guy that stood up, and when people were asking, hey, we haven't seen a black wrestler do X, Y, or Z in this amount of time, he said, oh, I don't see color, I only see talent. Nah, miss me with that. Because you write the show. It's a show. It's plenty of talent over there. It's plenty of ways to represent different races and different people on a show. All you got to do is walk into catering, point at a black person, and pick them and see if it worked. How many black folks you got at NXT excelling? That if you put them on their main roster right now, you're going to make even more money because you know who spend a lot of money? Black people. Go look at the statistics of who spends money in America. You get a black star in WWE and you get him to that level John Cena was at, it's over with. You're going to make more money than you ever made in your life.
Mm-hmm.
The fans hold the power. You have no right to sit there and when people criticize you, say you need to just watch the show and enjoy it. You're not writing TV shows. You're writing professional wrestling. The culture's different. You know this. You've been here for 4 calendar decades. And you can't continue to present as a prick. And I feel like a lot of people would probably be would a lot of people like in this field, like, you know, we created HCW. A lot of people in this field would probably be like, oh, well, I need to play nice because, you know, you never know when you can come across these people and you want to do collabs. No, let's talk about it how it really is. The fans have a voice. The culture of the entertainment that you create allows those fans to have a voice that makes a change in real time. And to sit there and discredit that continually while putting on a C+ show is not, it's not okay. And that doesn't end well. I'm telling you now, it doesn't end well. I don't know how long it takes, but that doesn't end well. I don't. I got off on a tangent.
No, actually, he got some really good points, like about the black people, like representing and being the face, right? When was the last time a black person became the WWE champion? Was it Kofi Kingston?
I think it would have been Big E.
Big E, right? Okay.
Yeah, 2021. And look at the black folks we got now.
Hmm.
You got a lot more talent than Big E. There's no slight to Big
Yeah,
E,
yeah, definitely.
bro. Like Trick Williams,
Hmm.
Bianca
this
Belair.
there. I mean, we're talking about men though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talking about men because Jade is champion now. But think about the men's side.
Hmm.
Look at who's main eventing. Look at who's even relevant on television. And then he wants to say, "Well, I don't see color." You see something because you ain't seeing us.
Hmm.
Cause Sean see us down there, but you Bruce and Michael Hayes ain't seeing something. And we know Bruce and Michael Hayes got history. So there's more, there has to be more to it based on the pattern of what's been going on, in my opinion. I'm just saying. We know the business of professional wrestling has historically been a certain way, and it has taken a long time to come around. And I'm glad that we are as far as we are now, but let's not get it twisted. There is still a prejudice. And I wouldn't believe that there was still a prejudice unless it wasn't so glaringly obvious to me, because Trick Williams should have been on the main roster 2 years ago. We can't categorize our great black wrestlers right now as what we could, like, ladies in waiting or something, because all of our CM Punks and all of our 40-year-old white men, or all of our 40 plus crew who is main eventing is still here. We can't treat that younger generation like guys just in the waiting, in the ropes. You let one get away, and look at what he's doing in AEW right now. It's a star.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Swerve Strickland,
Mm.
Isaiah Swerve Scott. You let him get away. He was in NXT. You learn your lesson once. I'm telling you, because you will get hit like a Mack truck with them same very people that you did not put out there because you wanted to wait it out. You had a bunch of dudes approaching 50 years old. Move on. Let them face the 50-year-olds. You know,
Yeah.
like Brian Breaker. Brian Breaker better get a title match at WrestleMania. You missing it if you missing the boat at this point if you don't. Obafemi just show that, just show you see he's a star. Obviously, he was protected last night with the way they finished the match, so they know there's something there. But like, based on a track record now, I don't trust Triple H to do anything with it. He get up there, be the number 1 draft pick to Friday Night SmackDown, and then be sitting on the shelf for 6 months like Carmelo Hayes did. That's a rabbit hole I can go down all day. I love professional wrestling. I love WWE. Don't get it twisted. But I see holes, and I see some patterns that aren't quite healthy. You know, You write the show. You literally can put them there. There's always these weird, twisted non-answers that this man gives out. And I've turned the John Cena retirement episode into the Triple H burial. But I think these are just things that just are out there that have to be said. Like, and they are being said by people, but some people are just too nice. Some people are too nice. I don't care about playing nice to be able to get certain things. I've always been able to make things happen. So let's we'll be fine. HCW will be fine. We're the ones that need to be. We're the ones that should be as critical as possible when it's appropriate to be so.
Love seeing Undertaker ringside to wish.
Yeah.
Cena
you did love his glasses though.
I ain't love his glasses. His glasses looked a little silly. I ain't gonna fake it. But,
glasses.
I love the Undertaker.
He had to be there, right? Like, because after Ruthless Aggression, Cena's first match with Kurt Angle,
Yeah.
He actually went up to Cena, like usually doesn't do, but shook his hand, like just to introduce him or just to say okay, like you're something,
Yeah.
so he has to be there.
Yeah.
Which is your best and the worst John Cena match?
Best
Whoa.
and worst. Best. Man, that Cody Rhodes match at SummerSlam was fire.
Oh, it was.
Um, I mean, him CM Punk 2011, but I like the Cody Rhodes match better now. Um, I feel like it's a little more modern, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Worst John Cena match, the freaking whenever Brock returned and was just destroying him, that wasn't my favorite. That was 2012. I think it was 2012.
Okay. What did you think of the WrestleMania match, John Cena versus The Undertaker?
Okay, so I was in person for that.
Okay.
I was there, and the energy, you could cut it with a knife. John Cena's in the crowd, that was fun, and then you see him run up the ramp, and you're like, oh my god, it's happening. Comes to the ring, and then the gong hits, crowd's going crazy. I'm sitting there like, they get in the ring. I'm like, oh my god, we're getting 5 Meltzer stars. It's gonna be a 30-minute classic. Match lasts five. What was it? 2.5 minutes, something
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Man, dude, I was like, get out of my face. WrestleMania 34, like if you only had the first 3 matches, it would have been like an all-time great WrestleMania, and it just
Mm-hmm.
fell off a cliff. And like that could have saved it, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So that one, I wasn't, after all that time. And what's even worse is knowing that. So Undertaker had hip surgery and got that hip replacement, and he was feeling good, and um, he trained the regimen that would allow him to do 30 minutes. So he showed up. He was ready to. He was like, all right, let's roll. I'm ready to go like 30 minutes. And
Yes.
Vince and John Cena just emphatically just like did not want to let that happen for whatever reason. I don't understand, but I'm like, the Undertaker showed up ready to put everything he had into that match, and y'all both sat there and said no. What the hell else better did you have to do in
Mm-hmm.
2018? Because AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura was a dud.
Hmm.
That shouldn't have been.
That's
Should
what I
not.
was saying. See, get over your pride and give me a 30-minute classic. Put on the pumps. Put on the pumps and make sure your head is buzz cut right and give me a 30-minute classic. Nobody asked you if you wanted a squash match. Put on the pumps and give me a classic.
Josh, walk us through your feelings last night as you saw Cena leaving.
Well, first he left him more orthopedic shoes in the ring, and he had that bald spot on the back of his head, so that
Oh,
upset me.
come on, he's gotten that fixed.
No, he didn't, because it was still on there.
Okay, he got to go for the second treatment. He got to go for the second treatment still. But
He had that bald spot for years now. Turkey is a 10-hour flight. Go to Turkey.
no, tell me how you felt really as he's stands in
As
front
he's
of that.
leaving, mad that he tapped out. That's how I felt.
But
And
really, him saying what he said about giving, thank you for allowing me to serve you all these years, and
yeah, that was crazy. I was like, you ain't had to say it like that, John. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, I was good. Like anybody that didn't cry before that, you just had to let out one last little one. I was actually surprised that I didn't have any tears, because I'm a pretty emotional guy. But
I think we were just shocked. We were all sitting there.
I think the tap out sucked the, because the tap out
Yep.
the tap out took me from, oh god, here we go, to, hey yo, what the hell.
Yep.
That and so then at that point, now I'm mad. Now I'm remembering that he's wearing orthopedic shoes, and he didn't get the military buzz cut. I'm sorry, I don't want to see your hair flipping over your forehead. That ain't John Cena I remember.
He had it before the ruthless aggression, and Vince told him to cut it out.
What I'm saying, bro. That's how I feel.
So yeah,
Like he tapped out, but I understand now. I'm not gonna like it though. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. He didn't have to tap out. Like
yeah.
I told you, what I say last night about the Make a Wish. You delivered the most Make a Wish kid ever, and all them kids never seen you tap out. You tapped out. You just told all them 8-year-olds go ahead and give it up. It's over. It's fine. You just give it up. I'm just telling the truth. I'm telling the truth because John Cena's character was built for them.
Yep.
Right.
So that John, the superhero John Cena tapping out. That's why it had happened in 21 years since he had turned over to that character. That character can't tap out. You ever see Superman tap out? Joker got Batman in the chokehold. Batman choking out. Batman will die before he tap. That should have John Cena.
Nishant, how'd you feel? I really want to know.
Same, man. Like all the emotional sentiments that we had. I was getting prepared to like, come on, Cena's last match. It just got converted to the anger. I'm like, come on, no way he tapped out, right? Because just like Josh said, it's been 21 years,
I
man.
saw
He hasn't
Nishant's
tapped out.
face, bro. I saw
Yeah,
Nishant's
you
face.
saw my face.
It was 10 seconds before he he was 10 seconds ahead. I see his face. I'm like, what? Okay, like, oh, he lost. Okay, whatever. Like, but then like I didn't think he lost like that.
Now looking back, I do think my mouth. I think my mouth was open. I think
It was
my mouth was
same,
like,
same, yeah, yeah.
like like that black lady.
Dude, Ben cracked me up though. Ben went from saying, "Oh, look at him smiling, like thinking that he's gonna do something crazy," and then like Ben was like,
No, like the reason this character of Cena, like like people started like back then when he started, right? The Doctor of Thugonomics. Okay,
Yeah.
people loved it,
Yeah.
right? And the amount of fans, like the younger fans, yep. This made him realize that I have to stop it because there are a lot of people watching me, right? So the hustle, loyalty, respect, and never give up. This whole thing started. So you cannot just give up like that. In the end, you cannot just tap out like that. And that was heartbroken, man. Like I wanted a proper classic match. I knew he was gonna lose. It was okay for me, right? I was gonna cry, and that's it. We could have
That's
ended it.
what I'm saying, man. You could put on the pumps and give me 5 Meltzer stars.
Yeah.
"Man,
Am I asking for too much?
he did that when he put his hand up and did that, dude. Like I really thought he was gonna go nuts. I really thought he was
I
gonna.
thought we was about to get up. Hey, shoulder tackle.
When he did that, I really thought he was gonna be like do what Hulk did to Loki in the first Avengers movie. I really did think that's how I felt when he did that. That was, oh my god.
Nishant, Sohail's never seen Hulk Hogan Hulk up.
You haven't?
He thought Cena was about to Hulk up like Hulk Hogan did back in the day.
Oh man.
Hulk Hogan would be getting beat down. And boy, you knew it was coming, boy. He stopped reacting to them punches. He come up on them 2 feet. He hit him with that. You. Yeah, it's over with. The match was over right there. You might as well just lay down and let the ref count because you about to get that big bootleg drop combo.
Mm-hmm. Just imagine John Cena's watching an episode. I hope he does.
If John Cena's watching the episode,
Yeah. What are your final thoughts? Like, yeah, like how are you going to thank him?
I think we should end the episode with that, Nishant.
Yeah. Okay. Done.
But no, I'm saying there's a lot more to talk about. So I think we're gonna save that for when we end. Josh, tell us about yourself. When did you get into wrestling? Tell us. I think it's important for us to understand more. So no, well, I want to know the what and the when and the why. But I'll tell you, I think it's important for us to know these things because then it really helps the viewer understand the gravity of last night and the implications that it must have had on you, right? And what they've heard before and why it meant oh so much to you for it to go a certain way or for it to not go a certain way. So please tell us everything about how your introduction was to wrestling.
My introduction to wrestling, the very first time that I had impressions of professional wrestling would be back back in New Orleans in the late 2004, early 2005. A group
He
of
was
kids. I was
he was
already at their house.
he was
Yeah,
six.
about 6 and 7 years old, 6, 7 years old, and
Nishant has no in his world that did not make that didn't make any sense.
you don't know about 6, 7.
No.
It's
Okay.
like a
Yeah,
it's a
stay over there. No, don't tell them. Stay,
okay.
y'all. I'm so happy for y'all. It's like a parasite. Um,
Oh, okay.
but you can look it up and find out. But anyways, that was my first impression. Was the video games? They were fun. They were cool. I thought they were like just so interesting. Like I never correlated that it was something that happened on TV though. I just thought it was a video game, like Mortal Kombat. So like I thought those were all like just characters on a video game. I didn't know they were real people. And then my next impression of professional wrestling was in elementary school, 2007, fall of 2007. We had the bookmobile came. You remember the bookmobile, Sohail?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
bookmobile came to the school, and you could get magazines and all kinds. Somebody got the WWE Raw magazine or whatever it was called, but it was like an old edition because it had Chris Benoit in it. And I remember that the kid was like, "Oh yeah, this guy died," and I was like, "Oh okay." Like I mean, the magazine looked cool. Once again, like then I realized it was real people, but I didn't correlate it back to the video game. But I was like, this magazine looks so cool. Like, but I never. I was just living life. It wasn't like something that I was like, oh my god, I gotta go out of my way to figure out. Then my 10th birthday party was a sleepover. Before we were playing video games, we were just like eating pizza and stuff before we were gonna have a Madden tournament. And I was scrolling through the TV trying to go to like Disney Channel or ESPN or something like that. And we went across probably either USA Network or Spike TV, something like that. And there was wrestling on. And now I know exactly what it was because I saw an old white man crying while a bunch of people were like standing around. This was the SmackDown after WrestleMania 24. And that the first thing I ever saw of wrestling on TV was Ric Flair's retirement ceremony.
Ric Flair's retirement. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't correlate. You know, you fast forward. That was 2008. You fast forward another nearly 4 years to January 2012. I'm flipping through the channel. It's on SmackDown, and I see, or no, it's not SmackDown. I think it's Raw, and I see a guy called Santino Marella with a sock puppet of a snake, and he's just being goofy. And I was like, oh, this must be like the wrestling that I've heard of. And like I didn't change the channel, it got my attention, and the show ended not that long after that. But I watched the rest of the show, and it was really interesting to me. And I remember I went downstairs and I told my mom, I was like, oh my god, okay. My mom had it on the TV. It wasn't me. I went downstairs, I saw it on the TV, and I asked her what it was, and she was like, "Oh, this WWE." She wasn't actively watching it. It just so happened to be the next program that had came on while she was doing something else. But she did used to watch WWE back in like the Attitude Era and all that. And I was like, "Oh, well, what channel is that?" She was like, "Oh, that's channel 28, which was USA Network." So I went upstairs. I watched the rest of that episode. I just had to see, like they said that it was coming on next week at some time on the same channel. I just had to see it. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, so I went and watched, and that was the episode where Kane was trying to get John Cena to embrace the hate, and Zack Ryder was there, and he was in a wheelchair, and Kane and John Cena and Zack Ryder and Eve Torres were having this weird love triangle thing. Shout out to Eve Torres, man. She was ringside. Was that her? That was her, right? Sometimes you can't always tell, but Eve Torres, man, that's like a blast from the past. And Zack Ryder got drove off the stage by Kane while he was still in that wheelchair with the neck brace on, and that was so entertaining to me. And then like the next week or something, The Rock showed up, and I was like, oh, hold on a minute, whoa, what is happening? Because I knew Dwayne And he acted in my favorite movie, which is The Game Plan, where he's a football player.
Okay.
And I bought a replica jersey, but I searched for 6 years. I searched
Was it a replica jersey or replica helmet?
the jersey's a replica. I
Okay.
searched 6 years on the World Wide Web, and I was able to finally, after 6 years, back in 2023, I acquired one of the helmets from the football team on the movie. Like one of the helmets actually used on one of the players that was actually on the screen in the actual movie. That helmet now sits in a cardboard box in the storage closet, but because I just don't have anywhere to display it right now. When I move and get my space back, I'll bring all my stuff out. I have that helmet. I'm probably going to send the helmet off to Riddell so that they can just
Authenticate.
refurbish it just a little bit, and then
they
once it goes, so they can refurbish it just a little bit,
Okay.
and then I'll send it to like a Hollywood authenticator to have them authenticated, certified, and then send it back to me. So that's probably going to be like a 6 months to a year long process, low key.
Yeah.
But so that's how much I loved like The Rock and before wrestling. So I saw him on, I was like, oh my God, like he wrestles? That's incredible. And him and John Cena just proceeded to entertain me so much for the next 2 months, leading all the way to WrestleMania 28. And my birthday's April 4th, which traditionally over the course of history, WrestleMania has always been the first week of April, even though last year now it's moved to the third
Fourth week
weekend
of March. Third weekend.
third weekend of April now. But that WrestleMania, obviously, I asked to watch it. You know, it's birthday present, and my mom got it for me, and we watched WrestleMania 28 together.
Like live?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
live. We got on it because my mom was gone. She was like doing something. She came home, so we bought it, and by the time we got it turned on, the entrances for Undertaker versus Triple H were just wrapping up. So like Undertaker was just taking his hat off and stuff, and so like from there on, that's one of the greatest 2 hour spans, or 2.5 or whatever it was, hour spans of my childhood. Leading all the way into The Rock versus John Cena at WrestleMania 28, which near and dear is one of my favorite matches of all time now. It holds so much nostalgia and weight. That's a match that I can sit down and watch almost any day. John Cena versus Rock WrestleMania 28 is probably the reason that I am a fan for life, to the extent that I am. That it felt like nothing I'd ever seen before. You know, it felt massive. I just remember like it felt so epic, and I was so excited, to see what was going to happen. That's when wrestling was so new to me. I didn't know left from right of what was going on. I just knew it was just pure energy. Like I knew it was just entertainment. Like I understood that they weren't actually like fighting each other to win in real life. But that didn't matter. I just, what I saw on my TV screen that spring and that night at WrestleMania 28, I didn't care if it was real or not real. That was just the most captivating thing I've ever seen in my life. And ever since then, I haven't missed anything. I mean, at this point, that WrestleMania, which is our Super Bowl, right? So WrestleMania 28 and 29, I watched on TV. First WrestleMania I went to was 30 in person. So it only was 2 years of being a fan before I was like, I really want to go. And it was perfect because WrestleMania 30 was in New Orleans, which is where I was from. And then, from that point, I mean, so I've watched WrestleMania 28, 29, 31, 37, 39, 40, 41. So that's 7 WrestleManias that I've watched on TV, technically. But I've been to WrestleMania 30, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 counts, even though it was COVID, and 38. So
So
that's 7 WrestleManias that I've been to, and I had a ticket to 40. So that would have been 8. But I didn't go to 40 because there was just some things going on in life. So at this point, if I had gone to 40, I would have been to more WrestleManias than I watched on TV. I've been to just as many as I watched on TV. I say been to because none of us that had a ticket for 36 could go because it was COVID, but it technically still counts.
So what did they do with 36 WrestleMania 36?
They had it at a performance center, which is essentially like a warehouse.
Okay, so
there's no fans. They just had matches.
So like, what did they have? Did they do like the live cam, like the webcam thing on the walls, like where fans could?
That was like that started happening in the summer after when they moved to the Thunderdome.
Okay, and they like shut that down pretty quick because people was being like inappropriate with it, right?
I think they were just weeding it out.
Okay,
so they kept it for all the way up until they got the live fans back. So
did you get your tickets, the money back for your ticket?
You kept the tickets, but you got refunded for everything. Okay. Yeah, top to bottom, full refunds.
Wow. No, so you witnessed Brock Lesnar break the streak of the Undertaker live?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw that in person.
That's a teaser.
How do you feel, man?
Oh, it was great. It was fire. Oh. That was such a cool thing to see in person. Like, it's not even, WrestleMania 30 was so historic in general, like as a fan. Mm-hmm. And I saw Brian Danielson pull double duty in the same night. And WrestleMania 30 is probably the best WWE show that I've ever attended. Top to bottom, start to finish. That show was awesome. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I saw the Undertaker streak break. It was very exciting. I remember the match was very boring. I'll put it this way. I fell asleep for like maybe 2 minutes during that match. And I woke up somewhere halfway through it because, Undertaker was concussed. So it was just not good. Yeah. And I just remember I remember Brock hit the F5. I remember it so vividly in my head. And I wish people could get in my brain and see from my perspective what I from how it was. Because the ring, the stadiums look really big on TV. But they're not it looks like you're a mile away. You're not. The ring at WrestleMania 30, I'm sitting in the club section two levels up. The ring from my perspective was probably this wide in person. Oh. So the people are this big, which that's pretty good in a football stadium.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great line of sight. So they weren't ants or anything. You could see pretty good in a football. So a football field ain't that big. It just goes up high. So from my perspective, I'm looking at it. Brock picks Undertaker. Undertaker goes to the tombstone. Bang, reversal. Brock picks him up. F5. And I just remember it was very casual because you just expected Undertaker to kick out the same way you didn't expect John Cena to tap out. Yeah. And so I remember I'm sitting there. I'm Brock F5 cover. And, the building's not, the energy's not up because it's just happened so randomly. It felt like F5 cover one. And I remember I was 1, 2, 3, wait a minute. And that's literally was everybody's reaction. Everybody, you could hear in the building, you could hear everybody be 1, 2, giving the courtesy count. Everybody's 1, 2, 3. And just like it's quiet here, that building has 76,000 people in it, or 75,000 people. This is what it sounded like in that building that moment. I swear to God, somebody could have dropped a penny in the upper deck on the opposite side of the Superdome, and just to put into perspective, the roof is 9 acres of the Superdome. Yeah. It's a big building. Somebody could have dropped a penny in the very top row. You'd have heard that joint. You'd have heard somebody phone, some T-Mobile, you would have heard that ringtone from the other side of the stadium in that moment. Because it was it's the air the oxygen got sucked out of everybody's body.
Mhm.
in that very moment. It was so shocking. So shocking. I'm
Do you,
glad it happened.
do you imagine that's what happened last night in the room?
It was pretty yeah, I mean, it was pretty quiet in our room. It was pretty quiet in the arena too. And do you
Yeah.
remember watching the TV? Like you didn't really hear much noise
No, we did not.
when Cena tapped. It was just like a whoa, I think people was just crying,
Yeah.
you know?
Um,
And
Wow.
I wonder how that feels for him, like because like Mark Henry said last time he saw people like that is someone had passed away. I wonder how it makes John Cena feel, especially like if he goes back and watches it and sees all the people in the crowd like crying or just devastated or in tears, you know, in appreciation. Like as a person, I wonder how that kind of impact feels. Like you being the person that had that kind of impact on people to where you got an entire arena, you know, in tears. You got everybody that you work with back in the back in tears when you said, you know, I'm about to, I'm gonna hang it up. You know, it that feeling is probably something that only a few people in history could understand. You know, like a Michael Jackson. You know,
Mm. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, and that's something that you really got to think about. You know, it's not a lot of people have had that level of impact um, on their specific genre of what they do. You know, there
Yeah.
there there
Yes.
wasn't tears for the Undertaker. There were no tears for Ric Flair. You know, even though he didn't stay retired. You know, there wasn't tears for people retiring in wrestling. You know, until
She
like
just said thank you.
yeah, and that's what I said. The impact that man had, um, while maintaining being a non-problematic human being. You know, bizarrely so. Um, no scandals, nothing. Legitimately a completely clean rep, just like LeBron James. You know, just you know, like hit the tears. You know, like when Thanos was in tears, and she was like, "Oh, you crying?" And he was like, "They're not for him." You know, like the tears just were so. I couldn't pick another person right now in wrestling that could pass away or I'm sorry, not pass away. I'm sorry, but retire, and the tears would be justified like that.
Mm.
Like where everybody's like, look, it's okay to cry, like because yes, that you had a guy who was presented as a superhero father figure to millions of children around the world, and many of whom did not have a father present in the house. They had a role model that they actually could look up to who did not stumble and who did not let them down.
Until last night.
He didn't let us down last night.
I wonder if it was his decision.
I said he didn't let us down last night. He just walked off into his sunset.
Mm.
Nishant, go ahead, ask your question.
No, like I wonder if it was his decision to tap out or not, or was he forced to?
Do you think it was his decision to tap out last night, Josh?
I don't know. I don't care if it was or wasn't.
I think he certainly can influence it. I think he certainly would have, if he did not want that outcome, he would have swayed it any other way.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a world. I can 100% with certainty, with my very elementary, knowledge of what wrestling is and how the business there is conducted. I can 100% say that if he didn't want the tap out to happen, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done it if he didn't want to do it. He
Mm.
agreed. He was agreeable, at least.
Yeah. So whether that was his decision or Triple H's decision or not, I mean, whatever. Whether it was his decision or Triple H's decision, he agreed to it.
He agreed to it.
Yeah. And if he did not want to agree to it, it would not have. I certainly believe that it could have went any other way that he wanted it to go. Whether that be him winning or whether that be him losing, but not be a tap out, right? So, So, yeah, no, Josh, who are your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time?
My top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time: John Cena. And that's not recency bias of him retiring. He really,
I understand. Is this in
order? No. It's just the top 5, just general. Like these 5 guys are in a room. I'm not favoring any over another.
Okay.
Top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time: John Cena, Kazuchika Okada. It gets hard from there. The Rock.
Okay.
So there's 3. Trying to think of guys that I feel like I love. I could watch at any time, any place. CM Punk. Bryan Danielson.
Oh yes.
So there's 4.
Yep.
Number 5. I mean, I got John Cena, Kazuchika Okada, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson.
I wish you said John Cena's. I wish the third name you said was John Cena, so I could be like,
CM Punk, John Cena, The Rock, Kazuchika Okada. And and just overall my favorite when it comes to the match itself, Kazuchika Okada. Yeah. Kazuchika Okada. Yeah. When it comes to quality and what I was gonna see, that's Kazuchika Okada.
Nishant, who are your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time?
It's difficult, man. I'll just say I started watching from 2012, so I'm gonna name according to that. So definitely John Cena. I'm a Randy Orton.
There's just so many. That's why the statement that I made about Mount Rushmore and wrestling, I'm just like, you can't, especially knowing in real life that the idea was to keep adding to Mount Rushmore. So it's like, well, I can add more. So
I would say AJ Styles.
Okay.
Right. I like him. I really miss Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
Because I feel he was a proper entertainer and a good wrestler.
Well, he's still there. He's not dead, nor is he retired.
He's John Moxley, but yeah. I don't watch AEW that much.
Just tune on to AEW and you'll find it. The individual who drew number 5 is.
The last time I was stressing this so much out, I forgot my answers in the exam. Okay, Seth Rollins. He's good, yeah.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead. I'll give my top 5. Might as well. My top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time, in no order: John Cena, Randy Orton, Jade Cargill, Undertaker, and Sol Ruka.
I let it slide. I love Sol Ruka so much, dude. Like I really, I think she's probably the only person right now that could get me to like fanboy, like where I'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. I'm just excited to meet you.
He'd be that enamored by her beauty.
I love everything about Sol Ruka.
Yeah. No, that's my top 5 favorite. But okay, listen, we got to wrap this up. So I just want Josh, can you let people know where they could find you and like what initiative you have started that you've allowed me to be a part of with you? I mean, I feel like we didn't talk about that enough, and I'm a little sad about that. But please just give people a quick rundown of where they could find us.
Yeah. I'm Josh Cage. That's Rana Chudge. You know him a lot. You've seen him a lot. I'm over at HCW, Hot Corner Wrestling, is our venture that we started together. We do wrestling multimedia. We have a podcast show right now that's already launched called HCW Heat. You can find that on YouTube. You can find that on your favorite podcast apps. You can find the Hot Corner Wrestling handle on Twitter and TikTok. You will not find it on Facebook. You can also find us. Yeah, I'm sorry, Instagram. You'll find us on Instagram and TikTok, not on Twitter or Facebook. Of course, like I say, you'll find us on YouTube. That first show is already done. We have some other shows that are coming out like next month. I guess I can announce that now. Rana Learns Wrestling, which will be a year long series where our guy Rana here dives into a half fictional, half reality world of being a student in an unaccredited wrestling school, where he will, at the end of the course, be given his certificate, where he is now an expert in the field of professional wrestling. It is going to be a lot of fun. There's a little bit of skits in there, so it's half fiction, half reality. So that's a world that you can dive into. You want to follow along. You want to learn about some wrestling. You want to become an expert with Rana. Maybe I'll even mail you your own diploma at the end. You can get a diploma signed by the school headmaster, Josh Cage himself. So that's another show that's launching.
Shout out to Professor Justin Potter.
Shout out to Professor Potter.
Professor.
He's a teacher on that series. You will get to know and love him as well.
And he's a lovely editor and cameraman and
head of production for HCW, Justin Potter, who has just the perfect voice and the perfect character for what you're going to see on Rana Learns Wrestling. It's going to be very, very cute, very endearing, and a lot of fun. And then there is another show that will be launching in early February, right off the heels of that. But I cannot get into the details of that. Just know that is going to be something that has not been done in our field, and it's going to be a lot of fun for a lot of people. So we've already got some great momentum started in the first 10 days of HCW being public.
Yeah, it's Nishant and I are me now being a part of two platforms essentially, right? Like the iCover podcast and then the Hot Corner Wrestling, and more specifically HCW Heat right now. Like me and Nishant, I'm like sharing Nishant these numbers and these stats, and I'm like, dang man, out the gate, we're doing these numbers with HCW that like we're still lucky to get with the iCover podcast if we do get them, right? Because man, so it's lovely to see the traction that you've garnered, that we've garnered thus far here at HCW Heat, or there at HCW Heat, because here's the iCover podcast. But
very hard. Don't get it twisted. We've worked very hard to get there.
So we have the iCover podcast has a huge team that's comprised of multiple editors. Josh is the one that's creating the reels, that's dicing up the reels after Justin, dices up or fixes and edits the whole episode.
And the public don't know that yet.
What was that?
The public has no idea of that. Right?
Yeah. Josh is the one creating the vertical reels.
Yeah.
Right. And it's so that's huge kudos and props to him for even being able to do that, and to know exactly which clips are going to garner the most engagement and be the most fun for audience pleasure. But
I'll let you see this right now, because this is gonna excite you. Hot Corner Wrestling launched on December 3rd, 2025. It is December 14th, 2025. It has been 9 days. What I'm showing you is only the statistic of views just on the YouTube platform in 9 days since launch.
Or 11 days.
11 days.
Damn.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
It
That's
is.
Very impressive.
that's beyond what I could imagine.
Yeah. No, it's very impressive. I'm truly I'm like, dang, Nishant, we gotta step it up over here, man. Oh man, but I love the dynamic, and I really do think that being in person does do wonders, right? We're able to like
Yeah.
dap each other up, and just you're able to grab my shoulder and stuff like that, or like things like that. So I know that there's less bounds that we have to deal with there, but no, it's really nice to see and be involved with this project, and it's it's an honor and a privilege. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of
He
it.
doesn't tell what he's not telling the folks is that it was his idea.
I told Josh, I called Josh one day, and I don't know, just like it really, I remember that day. I remember that conversation too. I was in the car driving around, and I was talking to him, and I said, it'd be a shame. I'll use the word then too. It'll be a shame if you don't monetize the knowledge and the passion that you have for wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's when it clicked.
8 months later, we're here.
That was March, and it is December.
Yeah. So
once I got the name, I scooped up all of the handles and everything, that way, no one could take it before I got it. And just
he's been doing an excellent job. I love the branding that you've created. I love with the lovely help of and work of the folks that you've contracted, and just the vision that you've brought to life. It's really dope to see. I love the colors you picked. I love that this is the primary color set that you picked also. I know because you gauged everyone's reaction, and you said that, you know what, the purple, baby blue, and black is just that's what we're gonna do. So the alternate being red, orange, and black. So let's give our final message, right, to Cena.
Yep.
And round this out, because I know we're now a bit over time. So go ahead. I'll start, and then Nishant will go, and then Josh, you'll go. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start. Man, I've always admired and loved you, John, for being a student, a lover, and a contributor to the art form and the force that is hip hop. And that's always been a reason why I favored you and loved you for as much as I have. Thank you for creating what I will call a classic project with your cousin, Trademark, The Time Is Now. Or no, sorry, You Can See Me, and having songs like The Time Is Now on that project that have now rang in multiple arenas and stadiums for years, right? We could say decades now. So I love that project. You can find You Can See Me on any major platform, like whether it's YouTube Music, Spotify, and all that. And I've listened to that multiple times just in the last 10 days or so. So I love that project a lot. Anyway, listen, you got bars for real, and I've always appreciated you for that, but I've also appreciated you for what you've done in the ring, for being a true entertainer and being a multifaceted performer and an icon. We're going to catch you on Peacemaker Season 3. I know you're going to be busy on set acting and whatnot, right? So it'll be great to see you then on screen in a different way, but from now on moving forward. But yes, thank you, Cena, for everything. I appreciate you.
So I actually have written something down that I wrote it a couple of hours back, right? Because I was thinking of continuing my writing thing on Medium. So I would like to go after Josh. I think I would like to listen what Josh has to say.
Okay. All right. Bet. Go ahead, Josh.
Since we're doing this, John Cena, man, everybody has something to say, and I think it's beautiful. I think a lot of people have encapsulated their feelings and your impact in very beautiful ways. The way I will say it is just be very simple. I'll tell you the same way I told you when I met you at the Strand bookstore in New York for your book signing and shook your hand. I told you, you made my childhood. And I'll say the same thing today, man. You made my childhood, and I hope you have a great week.
I saw that photo of yours on Instagram. Like, damn, he has met. Like, he has a photo with John Cena. Someday I wish I'll have one. Okay. So like, it all started like I've written some there. So I'm just gonna read it out, right? So it all started back in 2002. You stood in the ring with Kurt Angle, young, unknown, untested, and when he asked what made you think you could stand toe to toe with the best in the business, you just screamed the words ruthless aggression, right? Boy, oh boy, who knew that moment would launch one of the most legendary careers we'd ever witness, right? From the doctor of thugonomics, walking down the ramp, spitting bars and throwing hands, to the man who lifted the WWE Championship above his head again and again and again. You didn't just evolve, you defined eras. You gave us the epic battles, the wars with Edge, the classics with Shawn Michaels, the heartbreak with The Rock, and the nights you carried the entire company on a back that never seemed to break. We remember the open challenges, you want some, come get some, where every Monday felt like a brand new reason to believe in fighting spirit again. We remember the Make a Wish visits more than any superstar in history. Moments where you proved that the strongest part of you was never your muscles, it was your heart. And now, as the final chapter closes, we're not just celebrating the wins or the titles, we're celebrating the man who showed a generation what hustle, loyalty, and respect look like in real life. John, thank you for the memories that raised us, for the matches that made us yell at our TVs, for the promos that gave us goosebumps, for being the hero we didn't just watch, but the hero we grew up with. Your career may have reached its last bell, but your impact, that's immortal. And if you ever see this, just know we didn't just see you, we believed in you, and we always will. Thank you.
Oh man, I think that got the most emotion out of me in the last
Oh,
24 hours, man. I ain't gonna fake it. My eyes are swelling up right now, man.
yeah.
On that note, this is the longest recording we've had on this platform. Maybe you won't see the entire length of this. We will see, but right now it is set at recording 2 hours and 6 minutes
6 minutes.
plus. So we'll see how much of that gets slimmed down for the final cut. However, we really do appreciate your time, Josh, and we really do appreciate the knowledge that you shared with us today. Catch
Thank you
Josh
so
on
much.
catch me and Josh and I, plus Justin Potter on HCW Heat that broadcast every Thursday. Josh, is that right? I think.
That's right. HCW Heat broadcasted on your street Thursdays, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the United States of America.
Oh yeah. Let's okay, awesome. So yeah, we gonna catch y'all in the next one. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, follow us on all of our socials, the iCover podcast. Uh Josh shouted out their socials, Hot Corner Wrestling on all platforms that you could find it on, the iCover podcast on all platforms you could find it on. And we will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Bye bye.